Already, shalom, shalom. I'm going into praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, QADASH. I'm a brother, I'm along for downtown Florida from the camp prophets of Babylon. Come on to the quick hit to the spirit part by YAHAWAH. Lord, when it's edifying, feed the sheep. Double spirit, MILLSTONE, teach you peace and blessings, brothers who push this work into sincerity to the scattered abroad. Alright, spirits on me this morning. I just go into a precept on the goat. Okay, a precept on the goat, man. All right, we always moving. We were constantly, doing something. Okay, and the spirits on me, get one in, man. Okay, but a precept that came to mind was Ecclesiastes, known as Barak. All right, chapter 2, verse 2, it says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. Right, so we have to constantly endure, man. All right, we dealing with all kinds of afflictions. All right, dealing with with this wicked world that we have to dwell in for the meantime. All right, dealing with the vexation of things that we see. All right, okay, whatever daily thing you have going on in your life. All right, the scripture says, we have to constantly endure, man. Okay, a thing that comes by ease. This thing could get rough at times. As the scripture says, it says we have to endure, man. All right, and, you have it where this place, man. This place is completely through. Okay, this place is completely through, man. It's at its end. All right, and we gotta let the spirit do what it gotta do, man. Okay, because you have it but you could be battling demons, man, and are dealing with these kind of demons that try to mess with your mind, try to come and throw you off the rhythm, man. And you gotta sit to hell with that shit, man. You gotta rebuke those demons and do what you gotta do, man. Let the spirit do what it's gotta do. All right, because we know as we fight to be in the spirit, and we fight to do those things that's needful to benefit the spirit. We know that the flesh is there to give us a hard time. All right, and it don't matter what it might be. It could just be something as simple as getting out of bed and getting your ass to work, man. All right, because these certain things, as the flesh is there to hinder you, all right, so that you can not be as profitable as that you desire to be. Okay, and we know we got to do these certain things to maintain, all right, our life, our lives here in Babylon, of course. But you have it where the flesh is there to give you a hard time, man. Okay, which in a time where our hell breaks loose, the reason we're going into it is as the scripture says, make not haste in the time of trouble, because we're gonna have it where we're gonna solely be moving in the spirit, man. Okay, we're gonna be solely moving in the spirit, man. Okay, through the spirit power of our outside, and we ain't gonna be having time to what flesh is gonna give you, the damn, what's the word I'm looking for? The goddamn hold up, nah, man. We ain't with that, man. It's gonna be in the spirit, you see. And we ain't gonna have time to be trying to sit here and think about, should I do this, should I do that? No, man. We're gonna be moving solely in the spirit, you see. And that's the times we're coming into. That's the times we're approaching. All right, through the spirit part of our outside. All right, that we're in. Okay, so that we're gonna have to constantly endure through these things so that we can be able to persevere. Okay, throughout these things that we deal with in the flesh, so that times when we come into our greater troubles, the spirit is gonna be able to move. Okay, the way it needs to, man. All right. Because you're gonna have it where there are gonna be things that's gonna intervene, okay, Hey, these devils gonna come down having great wrath. All right, they're gonna come down, you know, pulling a huge card, man. Okay, persecution. All right, all these things are gonna come. All right, you know, and we're gonna have to move solely in the spirit. Okay, letting the spirit do what it's got to do, and we're gonna have to endure that to ultimately receive those spiritual powers, man. Okay, you know, something that was just on my spirit to bring out because, you know, despite what we go through, despite what we deal with, all right, you know, we have to, you know, do what we got to do to get through it so that we can reach those goals, you know, reach that momentum over overachieving, overcoming, man. Okay, because we know this is the condition of the battle. Okay, which requires us to endure. All right, and likewise, speak to you, I can speak to myself first and foremost, man. Okay, that was on my spirit to really just bring out, you know, as a precept on the go. All right, about to pull up to my destination, but just something, you know, to keep in mind and, you know, just meditate on, man. You know. But hey, I'm going to close it out by giving all glory and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Once again, the ones that was in Apostle Millstone, teach you once. Next time I say, Shalom.